morning peeps. So, I've done everything I needed to do last night, soldering them wires, making the loom longer. So the loom now, well, I've got loads of place, so I can stick that down and I can mess around. I've got to go shops and get these connector bits. I'm not a big fan of them, the ones that clip in and clip in. I wanted to cut and solder it and stuff, but I don't think the wire's going to be long enough and I might have to fill about. So I'm going to try these clip-in ones and see how they go. So I've made myself a coffee. I borrowed my wife's mug. She wasn't very happy about that, but there you go. It's absolutely freezing. It's like 11 degrees. Yes, I live in Australia. I know it's supposed to be like 50 degrees all year round, but it is getting into winter, so we do have cold mornings. And yes, it still rains where I am in Perth, and yes, it doesn't snow, and I don't have to scrape my windscreen, so I'm pretty lucky. But it does get down to like 2 degrees, so freezing. That wasn't in the brochure when we moved over here. Anyway, let me get to the shops. I've been to Super Cheap Auto to go and get some clips to go straight into the loom bit with these. I'm not a big fan, but I'm going to try these first before I split the wires and solder it in, because it's quite fiddly and stuff, but I'll give these a go anyway. But while I was down there, I got a right bargain, because it's end of year sale. I've never had a car wash before. They've got a K2 Karcher washer, and they also had some auto gleam on the sale as well. Now the proud owner of car wash, and these bad boys are on sale as well. So when I've done the car and it stops raining, I'm going to get to the flipping car and do a proper foam wash for it. But anyway, I'll see you soon. I'm going to go and get a hoodie on, and then I'm going to wire these gauges in. So now I've wired this in. The only diagram I could find was from a VW site, and found only one diagram. Thankfully, the colours are the same. You've seen where I've extended all these wires because the loom wasn't long enough. So if you're going to do this, you're going to need to extend it, label them up. Thankfully, the brown goes to the brown, purple and black, red and white to red and white. And then you've got the CAN bus. Now the CAN bus here is twisted all the way down, so it's really hard. It's the only wire I just cut one, unraveled it, soldered it back together, and then joined them up. Now we use these sort of crimpers here, strippers. This one you can put in the wire without splitting them. You put it in, you press it, and it strips without cutting the wire. I've then soldered them up, I've taped them up, and that's good to go. I'm now going to re-tape up the loom. I'll tape up this so it's all solid, put the clock back, and yeah, take it for a test drive. You won't believe it, guys, when I first did that video, it was about 2 years ago, edited loads of stuff in. I've only just started using editing stuff to do it, so apologies for the poor camera and stuff like that. But this bit here, I noticed I missed out a section because the actual gauges wouldn't work. The sensor one would, which is a stopwatch, but the oil temperature wasn't reading, and neither was the boost. And everywhere that I searched showing that none of them would work. No one's ever got them working. You've not got the ECU, the CAN interface, nothing would work. So turns out it was just not going to work. It's just going to be for show. I thought I was going to try and wire it all up just so at least the needles move with the rev counter. Wasn't bothered if they were going to work properly or true. So yeah, a lot of Googling and stuff. And then someone reached out from England who actually was on this VCDS site, which is what my Rostec, which I get all the stuff for coding on the laptop, you know, when you use the Rostec VCDS cable for a lot of European cars. So he reached out and went through loads of stuff about reprogramming the CAN bus and see if that would work. I didn't want to go down that route and then mess my car up. So the guy bought the dials off. He had the CAN bus there, so I could have it. So I took it, just swapped them out. Now, what you can see here is just gone into the front dash pan at the back. The best way to get to the CAN bus was through the back bulkhead. There's actually a slot there you could go, with wipers out, wiper dash bit out, and then wiper motor. Bit of a nightmare, it took me about an hour. And then you can undo the screws and you get straight to the CAN bus, it pulls out, or it's sort of the whole dash out. I put the one in for the Scirocco, didn't know how it would work. I went through to my VCDS, programmed some stuff up, ticked some boxes to read it, and I thought, I have no idea how this is going to work, whether it says or not. And yeah, bang, it worked. It was freaking amazing. So I'll go through. Okay, so as you can see, the only way, most of the time, the way I figure out how to get stuff out is by looking at the stuff I'm putting in, and then looking at the little clips and stuff, and then figuring out kind of from there how to get it out. I said I've never done this before, so I'm just playing it by ear. As you can see, that's the one I've took out the Golf. That's one out the Audi, the Scirocco. Slightly different part numbers here, but both like Audi VW. So these cross-platform stuff, probably got the same one in my wife's Audi Q7 at some point. So yeah, let's get this one put in and see if I can get the dials to work. Bus is called the controller area network. Every car has them now since like 2012, but I think the first came in 1991. It controls everything. That CAN bus talks to everything in the whole car. That's your airbag, your stereo, ECU, gearboxes, you know, seatbelt tensions, absolutely everything. Two little tiny wires, which is the yellow one and the brown one, talk to everything. Before that, it was all real complex, dedicated wiring, and now you just have these brown and red and yellow ones going around the whole car, and the CAN bus on the Golf there as well. Just before we go out and hit the road, just want to show that little gap that I managed to see around there. I've got some door sealant, I don't know, $5 from Bunnings DIY store. I just cut a little slip off, which you already have the adhesive on the back of it, and then just slid it underneath and tucked it, and it actually looks really well. Goes quite good, as you can see. It's quite snug. Looks almost OEM. It's the best I could do, but very happy. Here we go. You're gonna see these dials finally now they're done. Really happy with them. They turned out probably even better. Perfect. I didn't even think I'd get them working, but well worth all the effort. And yeah, they look freaking awesome, especially at night time. Perfect color, perfect dials, and all work awesome. So here we go. See the oil temperature's warming up there. This is a stopwatch we have, which we can start and stop the stopwatch whenever we want for the time and the stopwatch. That will start automatically when I put my foot down if I go on auto. But just keep it on time, and then the turbo gauge.